Assassin's Promise by Thomas Woodward, Chapter 128. Soon we would be able to see the sea. It would be nothing more than a far-off speck in the distance, if one could even see it. That was what Stannon had said. We had passed hundreds of miles in the blink of an eye. To see the sea, it had been a dream and nothing more. But it was real. It was out there, gleaming, waiting for me. I had dreamed of it before. I would find myself amongst the endless waves, bright sun reflecting off the surface. In the middle of an endless gulf, I found peace. The dream was strange, for I could not sustain myself alone. There was no land to seek refuge, only the endless waves. I would hold myself erect, my head above the surface. A long, thin, rising slope of metal would rise out of the surf, rising several meters into the azure sky. If not for the sunlight for me to differentiate, water and sky would become one. A globe of calm around me, small birds glittering in the light. They would alight for a moment, and then flit away beyond my sight. The gleaming rod of metal was a strange red. It looked so fragile that I wondered how it could support my weight. Into the depths it ran. How far down did it go? The questions seemed far away. Only the calm of the moment demanded my attention. I would climb the thin metallic cliff, seeing the shape change and dance under my eyes. It was not a sea, but eternity. It should have scared me, but for some reason I could not break the feeling of calm that passed over me. I closed my eyes and felt the hum of the wind above me, rushing past as if moving through a tunnel. Strong, large slopings of rock met above us, forming an immense rock shelf. A brief reprieve from the sun, nothing more. The land had begun to slope away. It was a gradual shifting, but I could tell, having been abruptly displaced across a great distance at once. There were jarring changes in the landscape that might have passed unnoticed otherwise. For one, there was a relative abundance of life by comparison. Small grubby plants clung to the earth. The cactus that was home to the desert bloomed with vibrant blues and magentas. Tiny skeletal bushes came forth, shooting up life, if you looked closely enough. A breed of lizard with a square jaw and iron eyes scavenged near the surface, sliding into and out of view as they moved about. Would the sea be terrible? Would it haunt my dreams when I finally saw it? I wanted to see, but not alone, I thought, looking over to Eve. Wrapped in her unadorned hood, she moved about like a ghost, hardly more than ethereal presence in this land. What would she find when she met the sea? Eve was lost in thought, but she broke the monotony, skipping rocks along the dusty desert trail they followed. The land had broken into a rocky canyon, Stannon leading them ever southward. She was so afraid of him now. She could hardly still her beating heart when she considered her options. Amile, her sister, would she have risked annihilation and left the memory of her people behind? Surely she would not have been so impulsive. But she had given her life in the flash of a moment to stay the contaminated touch of the destroyer. Amile had melded with one of its children, forging her consciousness to the oblivion it represented to protect their people. And she had done it in the space of moments. Amile had forsaken an eternity of her own to give the chance for her people's continued survival. In that moment, nearly a millennium ago, Eve had seen everything unfold as if watching the brushstrokes of a delicate tapestry. She alone was forbidden from acting. It was her future Amile had gave her long life for, she realized. Amile, who had been brighter than a blazing sun, more alive than nature itself. Extinguished, gone, but not forgotten. Eve had wept her tears, hundreds of years gone now, but she still felt the stab of loss. It would never truly leave her. She wanted to burn everything away. Eddie had ignited something in her, something unexpected.